got out-tanked by the what's it called? The Indiana Pacers. Not a lot was said by the national media about that, but it happened. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, like always, like the video, subscribe to the channel. So the Utah Jazz win, but in another way lose to the Indiana Pacers, who keep their lead over at least the Jazz in the tank standings. Things are getting pretty tight in the tank race right now. Sacramento has the lead. The one thing Sacramento has been successful in doing, the only time you'll ever see a number one next to the Sacramento Kings, I guess, is this year, and it was the year to do it. But the only thing they've ever done that was a good idea is be bad, even though that might not have been their choice. They tried to be good. And, you know, even when the Suns, or not the Suns, the Kings are trying to be good, then they find a way to be the worst team in the NBA. That's being the Kings. Welcome to Rookie Jaw 1871. Welcome to the channel. A rookie with promise. Welcome to the channel, Jaw. I appreciate it. So anyways, Utah drops one game. They win one. They're now 2-8 in their last 10. Like I said, I still think Utah gets at least to the 5, maybe the 4 spot by the end of the season. We shall see. Obviously, the big news for the Jazz, and I already did a video of it, so if you haven't, go watch that. But the Jazz, if you didn't hear, traded for Jaren Jackson Jr., and so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Jazz going forward. I predict the Jazz are going to tank like they've never tanked before. Everything that Tony Jones has been tweeting has been talking about that. And for those of you who are a lot like me, you can rest easy, because that's the biggest worry that I had with this trade is how do we keep the tank going while also having Jaren Jackson Jr., who legit is very good. By the way, his last game as a Grizzly, he scored 30 points, was great. And so Utah's adding an incredible player. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it was incredible trade today. Ja, welcome. Hi, brother. I'll be honest, I've long been critical of your trade Lowry takes, but this trade hopefully unites us all. You know, part of the reason I was wanting to trade Lowry was to just make sure that we tanked this season. But one thing that I've kind of adjusted to is just the fact that Utah looks like they've successfully kept Lauri Markkanen while tanking and make this trade. So honestly, in some ways, and maybe we can talk about that, they've done a good job in that way. Now, if we want to get critical, we can nitpick and things like the Svi Mikhailiuk, who even tonight playing helps them win a game. Why do we have Svi Mikhailiuk on the Jazz? I don't know. But Utah wins this game by, look at that, 9 points. Svi Mikhailiuk was a plus 12. Doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing that? Doesn't make any sense. That would have made the tank even easier. So please, Jazz, you make this trade. Can you please trade Svi Mikhailiuk? Because who cares about Svi Mikhailiuk? Yeah, the same risk they made to tank with Lowry, they'll do the same with JJJ, and I agree. I believe it. So yeah, they're definitely pushing the envelope with what the NBA can stomach. But at the same time, like you look at the Indiana Pacers tonight, like they're tanking harder than Utah, and no one says anything. So screw the NBA, screw anyone who complains about the Jazz, because TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Micah Potter. Of all people, they're resting Micah Potter to lose this game, and Pascal Siakam. So they rested their 5 best players to lose tonight. So I don't want to hear anything from the NBA when Utah doesn't play Lauri Markkanen or Jaren Jackson Jr. for the rest of the season. They're off to Cancun, right? It's ridiculous. Utah gets more hate and more criticism than anyone else. It's ridiculous. And by the way, if you're new to Jazz fandom or you're new to this channel, I've been blogging a long time. I've been covering the Jazz a long time. Get ready for bias mode against the Jazz. It always happens. It's always there. It's a real thing, and we're going to fight it together. We're going to fight that good fight. I'm excited for wins because there's more engagement, there's more interest and whatnot, so I guess I personally benefit in some ways, but I don't care about that. What I care about is a championship for the Jazz, and that's why I've been pro Tank for 4 years. And by the way, shout out to everyone who kept and followed with this channel, who read SLC Dunk. The numbers were down. SLC Dunk here because people just lose interest when the team's not very good. For those of you who have been here, shout out to you, and I appreciate you so much. And, to everyone who's coming back, welcome. We're all welcome under this tent. But I would like to say thank you to everyone who has supported the channel from the start, like you, Ja, and all the members and all the viewers and subscribers. Thank you, because guess what? Things are going to be more fun next year just in terms of winning. Right? The Jazz are just going to win a lot of games. You're going to have a starting unit of Keontae George, Ace Bailey, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr. We're going to just call him Jaren Jackson, probably, just easier to say. And Walker Kessler. And that's just the starting unit. The Jazz also have Cody Williams, who's looking good off the bench. Isaiah Collier had 22 assists tonight. Just crazy. Utah will get a draft pick in this draft. Now, if they win the lottery, it's going to be incredible. Incredible. But this is going to be a really good team. And guess what? Utah's not playing with 3 starters. Walker Kessler's not playing. Jaren Jackson's not playing. Keontae George not playing. They're going to be back. And Utah also got some players in this trade, like Vince Williams looks pretty solid. They got Jock Landale, solid backup big. I don't know if Jock Landale is going to be on the Jazz next year. It doesn't matter. Utah can either draft someone or, if Jaden Quaintance is there, if Utah gets the 7 or 8 pick and Jaden Quaintance is there, they should draft him and have him be the backup center to Kessler and what's his name? And Jaren Jackson. But anyways, Utah's got to keep the pick. It's going to be successful, and they're going to do what it takes because that's the right thing to do. But anyways, just there's not anything. I kind of like Johnny Furphy. He was decent. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Jarris Walker, I'll be honest, I'm just out. 24 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, 6. He just doesn't seem to really affect winning all that much. I was really into him. Been kind of disappointing. It is what it is. Not much else to say about the Pacers. They rested their whole team to lose this game, so, good for them. But they're continually winning games, and because they're in the Eastern Conference, I think Utah has a chance to jump 3 spots still. I still hold the hope. Because, Indiana and Brooklyn and Washington, these guys are going to keep playing each other. And yeah, so Utah will eventually. In fact, after tonight, what does the remaining schedule strength, what does this look like? Utah is still at 22, so their schedule is pretty easy from here on out. That's okay. Utah won some games they shouldn't have won to start the year. That's why the Svi Mikhailuk thing makes me mad. That was just so incredibly obvious that they did not need to have him on the team, but whatever. But yeah, you're looking at some of these teams like Indiana still has a pretty easy schedule. Look, they play Brooklyn twice, Washington twice. Someone has to win those games. You look at Sacramento, they have a lot of easy teams. We'll see. Look at that. They still have to play the Pelicans 3 times. Utah has to tank their brains out against this Sacramento team that night. Who else is here? Brooklyn, look at this. Brooklyn plays Washington twice. Someone has to win that game. Brooklyn plays, this is amazing. They play the Pacers twice. Someone has to win that game. If Utah had won this game or lost this game tonight, upside down world, won the game, lost it, I think Utah jumps them anyway. These guys have to lose these games. So when you look at Utah, these guys have already played. They don't play, look at that. They only play New Orleans once. Utah plays New Orleans, let's see, 3 times. Where is New Orleans? Yeah. That's going to be 3 Jazz losses. That means Utah is going to jump New Orleans. Let's see. Let's pull this up. Utah is going to jump New Orleans just by playing them 3 times and resting everybody. And they will jump. They've already played New Orleans, these guys. They're going to play each other. Utah gets 2 games on any of them. That means they can't slip at all. If Utah just does what it needs to, we jump. We jump. So enjoy your little, what did they say in The Office, Andy, when he says, you may have won this battle, but we will win the next battle. But anyways, yeah, so I think Utah has a real shot to jump at least 2 or 3 spots. I think it's very real, and the tank has to start now. Come on, Jazz. Keontae George, I think his ankle broke, so he kind of might need to be out for the rest of the season, something like that. Lauri Markkanen, I think Jaren Jackson, his last game he scored 30 points. I think he had a broken wrist, too many buckets. He got too many buckets, and it injured his wrist. So, again, can't happen. Do you agree with NBC saying we need another point guard? They seem to see Keontae more as a 6-man. They're wrong. Key is the point guard, and Isaiah Collier is a point guard. I do think the Jazz could use one more kind of ball handler. And that's why if they win the lottery and they get the 3rd or 4th pick, I think AJ DeBonsa is going to be there. He'd be nice because he can handle the ball. Kingston Flemings, I don't know why people are so big on him. I know the stats are there. The advanced stuff is good. So he's someone I know a lot of people are fans of. Look at that. They got him at 4. His defense is really good. And his offensive numbers are good. Like if you look at him, he's 51% from the field, 39% from 3. Also, he's 6'4". And one of the things and the calling cards of this Jazz team at this point is size. Like if the Jazz get 4 and they get Caleb Wilson, I'm ecstatic. And Utah can go out and maybe John Conchar can handle the ball a little bit. And that's the thing is actually Vince Williams, who is handling the ball a lot for the Grizzlies this year already, he can handle the ball a little bit off the bench. In fact, let's just do a little quick deep dive on Vince Williams. Yeah, look, it knows I've already searched. Vince Williams, now on the Utah Jazz, averaging 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I looked it up. He has a 7-foot wingspan. He is shooting 30% from 3 this year, but that's, kind of being that main guy. So that's something at least to watch, but 32% for his career. We'll see. But look at that. Last 5 games. That's pretty good. But anyways, he is, you look at his 3-point percentage by season. He shot just 143 in his career, but that's rookie. He played 15 games and started 1. I don't know if we rely too much on that. That's small sample size. But year 2, 4 3-point attempts per game at 37%. 44% from the field. Year 3, let's see, minutes played. Minutes went down, actually, but percentage also went down. Interesting. And then this year, minutes have gone up again. Man, he played 27 minutes per game in his 2nd season. Interesting. You got to wonder, why did that 3-point percentage jump? Why did the minutes go down? I don't know. Maybe he's been in a little bit of slump. But anyways, he's been playing a lot of guard. Look at that, point guard. So Utah, that might answer itself. And Isaiah Collier's played really good. So we'll see. Ace Bailey, the thing is maybe they're right, but Utah is one of the best assist teams in the league. So let's go to stats. Let's go to team stats. And let's pull this up. Assists per game. Look at this. Utah is the number 2 assists per game team in the NBA. So, I don't know. They're moving the ball pretty well. Like, kind of gone are the days of the point guard that runs everything and is the main ball handler at all times. Like John Stockton era is just, it's not quite the same. You usually have two ball handlers, two guys that can initiate a pick and roll. Now, Utah, if they have, that's why Ace Bailey, like the rest of this season, honestly, it would do a lot of good for the Jazz to just have Ace Bailey running a lot of stuff. If they win the lottery and they get Darren Peterson, then that really answers that question, Oh, or AJ DeBonsa. But you know what? If they win and get Cam Boozer too, like, then you got some interesting stuff. Then you got to ask yourself, should the Jazz trade Lauri Markkanen or something like that? I don't know, because having three power forwards would be really tough. I know Caleb Wilson's probably a power forward too, but I think he can be a wing or a 3-4. Cam Boozer is like purely a 4. AJ DeBonsa is kind of a 2-3-4. And Darren Peterson is a 2, basically, that can handle and can play some point. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. If the Jazz win the lottery, though, and I've been told, and I think it's basically been reported too, that they would likely pick Darren Peterson number 1. I think that's a pretty easy pick. I don't believe a lot of the stuff going on with him and resting and I don't know. I don't believe any of that. I think you pick Darren Peterson and you're excited about it because he's the best player in the draft. I don't think it's really a question. He's that good. He is so good. Guys, he's so good. Go watch Darren Peterson tape. It's crazy. We're looking at like top 5 potential player. Like, he's really good. If Utah wins the lottery and you have a backcourt of Keontae George and Darren Peterson, and then at the 3, I guess, then at that point, I guess Ace Bailey's coming off the bench. I mean, my gosh, how good is the Jazz team at that point? That's what's crazy. There is going to be, this Jazz team is going to be really good next year, guys. Really good. Get excited. Get excited. All right. So, this game was a tank off, so not a lot to say, at least. I do like what we're seeing from Cody Williams. 6 for 8 from the field, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Nice stuff from Cody Williams, to be honest. Utah really won this game with their, let's see, I guess with the bench unit, basically, because the Pacers they really did not want to win this game, and they put out multiple two-way guys and G League players, but we're going to hear a lot about it as Jazz fans, right? Like, they're going to throw shade our way, but who knows? I don't know, guys. So anyways, nice to see Cody Williams play well. Lauri Markkanen, obviously solid night, although I'd like to see this 3-ball go down more, Let's see, what is he at for the season as a 3-point shooter? For 3, he's shooting for the year 35%. It's gone back down. It would be nice if he kept that up, but it is what it is. 27 points for Markkanen. Nice to see him just kind of have a really nice night against a bad team. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you do. Kyle Filipowski, solid night for him. 16 points, 16 rebounds, 5. Pretty great numbers for Filipowski tonight, to be honest. 16 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Reminds me a little bit of Summer League. That's the type of roster that the Pacers put out there. But good to see Filipowski. That's now like 5, 6, 7 games now where he's turned it around. He was having a rough stretch there for a bit, and he's really turned it around. So nice to see Filipowski doing that. Ace Bailey, 70% from the field, 7 for 10, 2 for 4 from 3. Very nice night from Ace Bailey. 19 points, 3 steals, 3 blocks, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. I would love to just see more and more reps for Ace Bailey this season. Just give him all the reps, all the opportunity so he can just grow. Because Utah needs to go into fast forward mode for next year when they're going to be competing. Next year is going to be exciting, fascinating stuff, and we'll see how it goes. Isaiah Collier was the player of the game. Yeah, the shot wasn't really falling. Mostly because he took 3 threes and didn't make them. 37% from the field. This has got to improve, but he played every single minute. And I don't think he slowed down at any point. He's just physically pretty impressive. And goes 5 for 8 from the free throw line. But look at this. 22 assists. Crazy. And I actually felt like the broadcast, I don't like to criticize too much, but I think the broadcast didn't do its job tonight, highlighting the fact that Isaiah Collier had 22 assists tonight. And I know that's not very easy to bring up. You got stat guys that bring them out, and you're probably not paying. The thing that's funny about these Isaiah Collier assists is they're so subtle. Like I watched this game knowing, because I came in after the fact, knowing the Jazz had won, and I was just kind of watching. And his assists are so subtle and quick sometimes. We talked a lot about his assists last game, and he kind of put a exclamation point tonight on things I said last game. He's just a good assist guy. It's what he does. It's pretty impressive that a player can go 6 for 16 from the field and have 22 assists. He's kind of a physical marvel. He really is. His ability to barrel into people, draw defense, and then kick out or drop off to a big near the basket is pretty impressive. Or just that make the quick, smart, easy play. He just has a real knack for it. 17 points, 22 assists. Just an impressive night. And yeah, it's against a bad Pacers team. There's a lot of players that play against really bad teams. They don't put up 22 assists. And honestly, rewatching it, this could have been like 30. Lauri Markkanen missed 5 threes. And a lot of these passes were coming from Isaiah Collier, right? Like a lot of passes and a lot of plays that didn't fall. And so impressive stuff from Isaiah Collier tonight. Really impressive. Bryce Sensabaugh had a nice night. 8 for 14 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. He really crushed this Indiana Pacers G League team. And you know what? What's nice? 5 assists. A lot of assists for the Jazz. So when we see the Jazz leading the league in assists, second in the NBA, you kind of can see why. They just move the ball. It's an important thing. And let's look at the turnovers tonight, just 9. So Utah had 38 assists with just 9 turnovers. That 9 turnovers is kind of wild. That's really impressive. So nice night for the Jazz, who just played very solid. Honestly, veteran basketball where they just did not make a lot of mistakes and a lot of dumb plays. There were not many. It's kind of like when you're playing this well and you do have a bad mistake, they're more glaring. And then you realize after the game that it was just 9 assists. Like, I think Ace made a bad pass that turned into like a pick 6. And it's like, well, it was just 9 turnovers for the entire game. The Indiana Pacers, how many did they have? The Indiana Pacers had 15 turnovers. I mean, Utah won this turnover battle by 6. Really good. Finally, Svi Mikhailuk, who I've talked to you about, they kind of had to have him play, but I'm sick and tired of Svi Mikhailuk winning games for the Jazz. Please trade him, please. Can we please do it? I'm annoyed at this point. It's annoying. Come on. Let's do the right thing here. All right, let's bring up the music, and I think that's it tonight, guys. But an incredible, see, it's probably pretty loud. Oh no, I turned it down. Incredible day for Jazz fans. I did not see any of this coming. That came out like, holy crap. Just really huge. All right, so let's see. So Utah, like we said, sits at number 6. If the lottery was today, what would happen? Utah keeps the pick. They fall to 7. According to the Tankathon mock, man, this Keaton Wagler, I think it said Wagler, has really jumped on boards. Maybe they draft him. That gives Utah Mikel Brown Jr. I'm surprised Caleb Wilson. If I'm the Jazz and I can trade up in this draft, I would. If you can go up and get Caleb Wilson at 5, I would move from 7 to 5. That might be something a team might be willing to do. Right? I'd trade next year's pick for that. Just straight up, unprotected. And this year's pick. Give me Caleb Wilson. Right? I would do that in a heartbeat. Oh, I'd love Caleb Wilson on the Jazz. Look at these numbers. They're just super good. He's going to be a good player. Okay. Let's see. Let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. We got our new All-Star last game. Let's refresh just to be safe. Ball so hard, baby. Let's see. And our new rookie, Ja. Welcome, my friend. All right, let's give a shout out to Ball So Hard, Ballstead 23. See ya, Lex later. Ryan Perry, the legend. The name means king. Jace is the ace. Garner, Steve Areno, Stu Sir. Let him cook sturdy pots. Ezekiel Ricibe, the man from down under. Tyson Price, the price is right. Jordan the Goat, best roll. Christian House Money, the Haas. Robert Hall of Fame, Arcs Poetica. Austin R. Grant, editor extraordinaire. Key for 3 at PG. And Patrick Akubo, the connoisseur. Guys, like always, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's only up from here after the season.